All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. We are in day 11, which means we are halfway already. We're already halfway through this series. After this video, we will be anyway. All right. Yes, this is Path 21, day 11, Kurgasiax, or Kurgasiax, however you want to say it. I say Kurgasiax. Let's get started. Okay. The 21st Kala is dominated by Jupiter and is refracted into a tunnel sentineled by Kurgasiax, whose name should be intoned imperiously in the key of A sharp. His sigil should be painted in rich purple on a bright blue ground, rayed with yellow. Go ahead and give the Shadow Terror image here. Take a screenshot if you like so you can have the image. Try and get a clear one for you there. Kurgasiax. All right, everybody got that? Okay. The number of Kurgasiax is 315, which is that of Isha, I-S-H-H. Presumably Yod Shin He. To stand. Stand out. Stand up. Get up, stand up. It is derived from the Egyptian As, A-S, which indicates the secreting part of the body. Also, Ash, A-S-H, emission, and Asut, A-S-U-T, the testicles. The sigil of Kurgasiax shows a horned or crescented sphere containing an equal-armed cross mounted on a pole terminating in 3 caudiform appendages. The cross within the circle is the mark of a set, which denotes the place of the crossing indicated by the northern pole or axis, i.e. Da'ath, the gateway of the abyss. The triple tail suggests 3 there we go. The triple tail suggests 3 modes of entry via the backward or caudal, C-A-U-D-A-L, tunnels that connect Da'at hindwardly with the power zones of Pluto, Jupiter, and Venus. 3 modes are glossed by the number 315, which is also that of OMRH, Gomorrah. A secret formula of Pluto, Isha, the phallus, ISHH, presumably Yod Shin He, and IQRH, presumably Yod Kof Resh He, meaning her precious thing, i.e. vulva. That's one of the things it means, folks. For Pluto, Jupiter, and Venus, respectively. The horned circle containing the equal-armed cross is the horned barb of Set, spermatozoan, generated by the formula 315. This is borne out by the title of the tarotic key of this path, 21, viz. The Lord of the Forces of Life, which translated in terms of the tunnel of Kurgasiax becomes the Lady of the Forces of Death, she who sends the incubus and the nightmare. I love the word nightmare. I mean, the word mare to me makes me think of horse. Nightmares can be a journey. In the verse of 231 relevant to this kala, Jupiter appears as the father whose reflection is the mother. Now then, the father of all issued as a mighty wheel, the Sphinx, and the dog-headed god, Antiphon, were bound on his circumference. I'm not going to get into that. The wheel is the sphere containing the mark of the beast, which is a revolving chakra that activates the forces of the Sphinx. Note: male-female potencies. The dog-headed god. Note: Pluto. And Typhon. Note: the mother. Repeating the formula above described. In the tarot, the wheel becomes the wheel of the goddess Fortuna, who determines the fluctuation of earthly life. The magical CD associated with this kala is ascendancy, political or otherwise. Hence the ascription to this ray of the scepter as its typical magical weapon or tool. It is noteworthy that Crowley regarded the formula of Gomorrah, note, the equivalent of the 9th degree and the reorganized OTO. He regarded the formula of Gomorrah, which is the key formula of the tunnel of Kurgasiax, as the feminine version of the formula of Sodom that obtains on the other side of the tree at this level. Note: see Crowley's notes on the Yi King, hexagram 48, hitherto unpublished. Yi Ching. This was an unfinished product. Crowley, however, finished his work on the general ascription to each hexagram of the magical formula of the present eon. All right. It's going to be a short one today. And moving on to the Shadow Tarot. Again, here is the image. Kurgasiax, the shadow of the wheel, or the shadow of the wheel of fortune. To take joy in the turning of the wheel, in the inexorable pattern of our DNA, and the holy continuity of human generations, is of the essence. The fickle goddess Fortuna smiles upon us on the dayside path. Yet in the tunnel of Kurgasiax, we find we are mercilessly bound to inexorable existence by the three fates, the Norns, or the Moire. Moire? On the night side of the tree, the implacable triple goddess ties the yet-to-be-born human soul to the end of a carefully measured linen thread, which then she pays out yearly until comes time for her to cut it, thus relinquishing the soul to death. It is the goddess as Lino-Deousa, or Ieno-Deousa. It's either a capital, I believe that's an L, Linodeousa. It is her who binds the human soul to life with the linen thread, as Chimera, Cameira, Catamerizousa, Catamerizousa, Camerizousa. It is she who pays it out, while Ialysa, Ialysa, the wailing woman, Ialemistria, Ialemistria, is she whose solemn office is to cut the thread of life. But all we may see are these, the hands of fate, for she is the faceless one, the goddess, the godless one, the existent before time, first former of the ancient inexorable genetic pattern of our DNA. Our primordial inheritance of blood that is the spirit of our race. Arrayed about the central sigil are the imprints of the fixed stars of the Persians. Within these confines there is no illusion that one may induce Lady Luck to smile, that one can never be truly master of one's fate. For here is the web of blood, of inheritance, of blind tradition, of instinctual reactions and needs. Here is neither hope nor help, but only the inexorable workings of the goddess Death and Life, seen through the unalterable influence of her fated stars. Okay. Kurgasiax meditation. Powers of the tunnel of Kurgasiax are feelings of connectedness with the thread of life as carried by the human bloodlines, traced back via mitochondrial DNA far into the dim reptilian past, of bright sunlight filtering above the hot and dusty plain. Does anybody remember what the function of the mitochondria is in biology? Okay. Here is Satori of the revelation of Sangraal, Sangraal, Sangraal. That's an interesting word. Sangraal relates to blood and a chalice. The holy continuity of generations dwelling upon earth, whose archetypal patterns of becoming have been created over aeons by their action on the psychic ether. Here is a sense of the mythic that makes everyday life at once awesome, terrifying, and grand, that makes all life meaningful, and that it has no necessary meaning beyond itself. Here is power to accept fate, to take joy in the seasons of the year and the turning of the wheel, enjoying freedom to pursue one's path, knowing there is no right or wrong, but only raw necessity, that we are the way we are because we have no other choice, because it is directed by it is decreed by culture, acting upon the archaic pattern of our DNA. That can be interpreted a few ways. Careful with that. A need for work with the energies of Kurgasiax is suggested when we find ourselves feeling special compared to our fellow humans, believing that we are lucky and blessed in the eyes of the gods. Hold the optimistic view that one can escape fate and evade one's karma. This may be coupled with a belief in coincidence and belief in orderly, reasonable, sensible, and fair universe where good eventually wins out over evil, where bad things never happen to good people, where God is in his heaven and all is right in the world. Yet every man and every woman is a star, every act the fiat of a god. Do I want to address that? Nah, you're adults. Or at least you should be. I specifically set the settings that these videos are not for children. Kids are smart though. I'm not going to address it. Okay. Again, we are in the tunnels, reading from the tunnels of Set, the path working. Okay. As you gaze at the sigil, chant or vibrate the name of the guardian to attune yourself to the frequencies of the tunnel, or the frequency of the tunnel even. At the same time, envision the image coming alive, moving and growing until you see it spreading before you like a landscape you can enter. Clouds of red and golden mist emerge from the image, flowing into the ritual space and enveloping around you. They blur the border between worlds, opening ways to dimensions existing within the astral plane, and the shadow of the black sun of the Nightside. This energy is stellar and brings the feeling of being in the center of the universe. When you get to this point, extinguish the candles, close your eyes, and with the image building up in your inner mind, send a message to the guardian to guide you through the experience. Visualize that for a moment everything fades away and the whole world disappears. Then the darkness around you crystallizes into a scene. You are in the center of the universe, surrounded by stars, planets, and galaxies. Around you, there is only the deep blue sky, full of shining celestial objects. A beautiful stellar landscape. There is also a lot of starfire raining down from the stars and other objects in the sky. This fire creates a path in the middle of the whole landscape that leads to the throne of the guardian and the heart of the realm. As you walk, you can feel that you are transforming as well. You shed your human form and become a stellar entity, free to travel between worlds and dimensions. In this form, you enter the throne of the guardian. He sits there in the middle of emptiness, dressed in a cloak that looks like it's made from the night sky. His body is not seen. He has no face, hands, or any human parts at all. What you see is a humanoid figure wrapped in cloth that seems to be empty. Around the throne, you can see the symbols of the zodiac on the floor, shining with blue light and swirling anti-clockwise. Approach the throne and sit on it, putting on the robe of the guardian and absorbing his powers and qualities. From this point, let the consciousness of the guardian guide you. Open yourself to whatever may come. And when the journey is over, travel back to your body. Close the working and return to your normal consciousness, ending the working for the day. All right. Is there anything that I want to address? No. You guys can handle this. So, have a good rest of the day. Have a good rest of the week. Thanks for stopping by. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them below. If you liked the video, leave a like. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, feel free to, but I'll typically never ask. Frankly, the only reason I even mentioned it was because I was visualizing the page, trying to think if there was anything else to add. Sub or don't sub, like or don't like, comment or don't comment. What's important is that you're getting something from these videos. You don't have to believe any of this. I'm not even sure that I do. All of this is a science, and we should be reserved and scrupulous, and we should definitely test this stuff. You can use this stuff as a Christian, as a Buddhist, as a Hindu. You can use this stuff as a Taoist. This is a synthesis. This is a condensation of multiple traditions. Almost every tradition has exoteric and esoteric, outer and inner teachings. And within the esoteric teachings, there is typically a celestial and infernal practice. So, keep that in mind. And have a good rest of the day. Take care.